Hey, it's End of the Road Haunts, and today I'm talking about the newly revealed Lowe's Halloween 2022 lineup. Now, I didn't cover this when it was first released because I wanted it to, trickle out fully. And we don't have the videos of all of them. We're really just missing the Jason and Chucky, which I don't think I'll cover because they're just, they're nothing much. But yeah, let's get into it.
Towards the witch's cabin. I did not see them come back.
This first one here is the Gravedigger, and I must say this is a very bad one because we've had the techie Gravedigger, like 2020 I think it was. And he was hard to get your hands on. I'm not sure where he was sold or anything. But he was just volumes better. Like, he looked pretty creepy, His phrases were good. This one just, it looks bad. It's clearly a ripoff as well. And also, the phrases are just so weird because they have so many odd phrases. So, pauses, not phrases. But yeah, he just really sucks in my opinion. I do not think this is a good one.
Young one, the one and all, look into my crystal ball. Double, toil and trouble, fire burn and cauldron bubble. Cool it with a baboon's blood, then the charm is firm and good.
So next here we have the Witch. Now I do think this one is a little good right up until you get up to the face, which looks very bad. It looks to be like a very thin plastic and the mouth movement is just weird. Its phrases they're okay. They're just, standard witch phrases. I would like to see something a little more from the witches nowadays. They really gotta stop with these kind of standard ones. And the crystal ball isn't exactly original. This is just one that's very, it's fine. I totally could not see myself getting this one. But it's just not great.
Your time has come. Now, there is no turning back. We've prepared a special.
So this one is the Hourglass Reaper, and I do think this is one of the better ones of the lineup. I do have a slight complaint, which is that he does look very disproportional. Like, the whole, I'm not sure why his hood is so, large, even though his head is, a lot smaller than it, but that's kind of okay in my opinion. The hourglass does look really cheap, and his hands look really, small, which I don't like. Kind of looks like I tried to, some of the animatronics ideas I've drawn, which isn't a compliment, by the way, because some of them, the proportions and everything are just way off. They just look really bad. So, I'm not a big fan of, I don't know, it's hard to say, because its phrases are okay, but they seem a little low quality, and I'm just kind of conflicted on it, so, but I think it's okay. It could definitely be way worse, but it could also be way better.
Come closer. I've got something for you, and it's not a balloon. We'll see who has the last laugh.
So this one was so damn close to being like an actually okay/good clown prop. I do quite like how the face looks. I do think that's really creepy. It does look like a Killer Clowns from Outer Space Spiky ripoff, which is not a great look, and it's personally believable that they do this because that Gravedigger looked like quite a ripoff as well. So I did really want to see where this was going, but a couple main problems with him. A, he just looks very odd. Like, his stance I find to be very just questionable. His legs don't have any padding on them, so they just look really skinny and like they just don't look natural. He's holding his lollipop the wrong way, which also makes me quite uncomfortable. And let's address the elephant in the room, the standard crappy Sunstar clown phrases, which I feel like they redone, but that just makes no sense, because they've like, if they were going to redo the phrases, then, you know, just make new phrases. So overall, I don't think this one's great either. This lineup really isn't very good. So I find that this next one suffers from the fate that a lot of the other props on this list have. Just this that just looks way too cheap in my opinion. Now this is obviously a redux of the, like, you know, popping head ghost girl from last year, but I just don't think it's very good again, cause it's just too cheap. But I feel like if Spirit were to do this, the either like Techie Design or Crazy Create, they could really create something good, or like, you know, SVI. But the fact that it's modern Jemmy just makes it not look great. I do like the new clothing it has. I do kind of like this one more than the other, since its color palette is a lot more like easy to look at instead of just being pure white, which was very like jarring, because, you know, it's best for like animatronics to have some different colors here and there. But, you know, it's definitely fine. Probably one of the better ones on the list.
Give your guests a ghoulish greeting this Halloween with this 12-foot animated mummy. You can adjust the spooky sound and light to just the right levels. His elbows and shoulders are adjustable, so you can strike him in various grisly poses. Everything you need for setup is included. You can find the 12-foot animated mummy at your Lowe's and at Lowe's.com.
Now, quite a dastardly take here, but I do think this one has to be one of the better ones of the lineup. Now, this is the 12-foot mummy, and honestly, I do find it quite cool. Some people aren't a big fan of the, like, changing lights, and I can agree with that, but the base, you know, like, just kind of yellowish lights look really good on it. It does look really good for a mummy. Looks a little less cartoony, which I like. Still a little bit, but it's decently scary. It's a 12-footer, obviously, which is, you know, I only really like the 12-foot skeleton that Home Depot has done, because it's just more versatile. But this one's pretty good. It does look quite cheap, though, which is one concern I have. Like, if you've seen the 12-foot skeleton setup, you know it has some, like, beef to it, like really thick metal. Whereas in this one, just looks like a really tall standard animatronic. Now, of course, it might actually be kind of strong. I do like its sounds, but I'm not quite a big fan of the fact that it's, you know, covered in fabric, which is just, for, you know, Halloweens that are usually rainy for me, that's not a very good thing and could easily get on the circuitry. I like that it's animated, but, you know, other than that, it's pretty okay. But I do kind of like this one. I'm not gonna be covering this shitty. Nope. So this one here is the, like, pop-up Pumpkin Reaper. Now, again, this is pretty much the same opinion I have with the Possessed Girl one, but I do think that one's better just because this one's... I don't find it nearly as, like, scary as the other one. So, you know, there's that.
You keep me in stitches! People say I'm funny, but look at you! That face is something that anybody would laugh at! Here's my favorite rhyme. Violets are blue, your blood is red. The window is open, I'm under your bed. You know, when I watch you sleep at night, you make funny faces. It busts me up and I have to keep my giggles in so you won't wake up. Yeah, I like to watch you.
Well, would you look at that? It's one of those generic SVI Towering Clown props that everybody had a problem with a few years back. Yeah, not much to say. Its phrases are okay. I don't think it had to be that tall. I do kind of like the look, even though it's pretty much directly taken from Hugs. And I also just... it's too generic.
The wind is kicking up all around us. I think your warm summer days have blown away behind you. This same wind is blowing you right into my arms. Come here. Give me a hug. Nobody comes back from the Reaper's embrace. Hello, little friend. It is so good of you to heed my call. I have been waiting patiently for your arrival, and see the wait was quite worth it. Come this way, and do not fear the darkness.
So this is the kind of redux of the Big Head Reaper from 2020, which nobody really sold. I'm not sure, like, who did. Now, this one's okay. Its phrases are decent. But, you know, in general, it's just... it's just a little, like, meh, in my opinion. I do like the catacomb creature head, but I do wish it was still 6 feet tall and not, like, 8. Because I just think that would work a little better. And, you know, it is quite cartoonish, but it's also a pretty, like, decent prop.
Pleased to see that you came here on such a bone-rattling fall day. Halloween is shaping up to be a stormy event. Careful you aren't blown straight into the afterlife! Welcome to my haunted house. I'm so pleased to meet your acquaintance. I may not look like a Halloween fan, but I dress special for the occasion. How about you? Pardon me. I am wondering if this party is casual dress or a formal affair. It is a must to be appropriately attired. Well, at least I'm better dressed than the Wolfman. Okay, you look great. Down, boy, down!
So this one is the sharp-dressed skeleton, which is... it's quite an okay prop in my opinion. Obviously, a little more classic Halloween-y / cartoonish. I don't mind it. It looks pretty okay. Its phrases are decent if it's the kind of thing you're looking for. Its animation, though, I do wish the skull was maybe attached to the hat, so it'd be a little more cool on that front. But, you know, it's pretty decent. I could fairly see myself getting this one.
Oh, they're gonna fuck shit up.
And indeed they did, because this is their new Halloween 2 Michael Myers, and they changed the mask, they changed the suit, so everybody thought that this would finally be a decent Michael Myers prop. But they, for some damn reason, kept the ringtone theme. Like, they couldn't have just recorded any breathing or anything with even just, like, intense royalty-free music that was just very quiet and, like, whatever, inoffensive. But they decided to put the ringtone theme for some damn reason. They were going to change the prop anyways. This is just a disaster.
Gonna get away from me? I'm gonna eat you up. You are all my children now. Come trick or treat at my house. It's over on Elm Street. I'll leave the light on for you.
Now, I do believe we've seen this Freddy Krueger before, but I don't know if it was ever released. It might have been, but anyways, Lowe's is carrying it. And I do think it's pretty decent. The phrases are fine. Its animation's fine. I like the moving fingers. It's a fairly inoffensive prop. There are only two big problems I have with it. One is how cheap it looks, and like the head and hands just look so fake. And B, it's just too stiff. Like, I wish it had a more open stance, whereas the way it is, it looks like it's trying to cram itself into a box. But this is a decent Freddy Krueger animatronic. It's not awful, but it's not the best. So that's the video. Like and subscribe if you're new. Tell me your thoughts on this lineup in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.